Now I welcome Kristoffer. So I'm sorry for sharing your slides. Kristoffer Hylander from Stockholm University. You will talk about the coffee and biodiversity and climate in Ethiopia. Welcome. And use this mic so that the sound is recorded as well. The green, yes.
Green one here. Okay, thanks for the invitation. And I thought I should engage a bit more in Focali a few years ago, and then I happened to be a lot of administration on my work in Stockholm at my department. So hopefully in a few years I will come back and be more active. But I'm happy to be here today and share a few slides. And then I have to run to a series of meetings after this. I'm very sorry for that. But everyone is welcome to contact me on email afterwards and we can meet up. So I have worked for around 20 years in Ethiopia, and especially with coffee-related questions. So lately we have had a study system with 60 sites with different complexity of coffee agriculture or coffee agroforestry, from forest coffee to plantation coffee. So coffee is native for Ethiopia. The Arabica bean grows inside the forest. But in the home gardens of people, it could look like this, with the coffee under native shade trees. And this is a very rich environment for biodiversity, even if there are differences in the different systems. So coffee is also culturally super important for Ethiopia and for us also. We had coffee here for a moment ago. If you come to Ethiopia, people are serving you coffee. They grow it to sell, to get cash, but they drink a lot of coffee themselves, and it's very important for the whole culture. As we heard also from the last speech, there is a similarity. So we have approached a number of different questions in biology, ecology, but also together with human geography. Love Börjesson, for example, at Stockholm University. So one question we have looked into is the trade-off between yield and biodiversity, or revenue and biodiversity. And there are many different aspects of this, how this curve look like, and is it possible to increase the yield and the amount of coffee at the same time as keep the biodiversity and vice versa. And we have a really good system to test those kind of questions. Then we have also been very interested in top-down control of natural enemies to pests on coffee. And there is a lot to do here to find out. It's super complex with so many different pests and diseases, but also so many different roles of biodiversity in controlling it. For example, this hyperparasite that is attacking the rust that occurs in this. So it's a fungus eating another fungus. So there is a lot more to learn here. Finally, I have one slide related to climate, where the climate is becoming warmer in Ethiopia. That means that coffee can be grown at higher elevations now than before. And on those higher elevations, the balance between ecosystem services and disservices has been negative for the forest. So when coffee can't be grown, people have cut down the forest because there are problems with raiding animals, baboons and pigs coming from the forest, like here. But now when climate gets warmer, people start to plant trees and coffee at higher elevations. So even if climate change is overall negative because it imposes a change, and that is very challenging, it can also be opportunities to restore biodiversity when people change their system, agriculture system, and start to plant trees. So right now we have one PhD student at Addis Ababa University looking a little bit more into what is happening on those places above the at higher elevations where coffee couldn't be produced before, and why are people changing, and what are the changes? And it seems like there is a lot of dynamics here, and increasing tree cover because of warmer climate is actually one trajectory that is interesting to follow and see. But there could also be then more coffee washing stations with more water pollution, etc. So there are always these different complexities. But it's super interesting landscape to work in, and we have close collaboration with Addis Ababa University and Jimma University, and I hope to be able to continue contributing with this.
Thank you so much, Kristoffer. I know that you have, it's a big research group, and you have PhDs. You just came from Ethiopia as well, so there's much more to share ahead. And I think this bridge from the last presentation, also coffee is so important to our culture, and we see that also in Sweden now. The sort of hot debate, the coffee prices are over 100, and what is happening, and so it's really a socio-ecological complexity from the local to the global level. Thank you so much for sharing and joining us when you can.